I'm back.
Hey, welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Cartier Customs back in with another video. So I bet a bunch of you guys are thinking, what the hell does he have going on here? A wagon? Had this thing sitting in the booth for probably about 6 months now. I've just been waiting on the owner of it to let me know what specific white color he wants on it. So anyway, though, the basic purpose of messing with this is it needs to be restored to not look so cracked up and old. Don't believe he's going to be using this for any actual riding. I believe it's going to be like an antique display. So I went ahead already and started taking off the wheels on him. And none of this is original. This was definitely all like redone. You'll be able to see that it's even got like drum brakes on it. And they had to put new holes. So per the owner's request, he just wanted me to go ahead and fill in any imperfections on the rim or on the spokes. That way it at least looked a little bit better. So I went ahead, I've already got this wheel all prepped up. Before I spray it, there'll be some final blending sanding I'll do on some of the wood pegs. And I got this one drying, basically ready to start sanding. And then I went ahead and sent a sample to the owner of the paint I've already put on it. This is just a regular GM Summit White. Nothing special. Goes on all GMs from like 85 on up to now. So now after I get that all sanded down, as far as the wheel goes, get that all sanded, should only take about 10-15 minutes. I've got to start taking these wheels off here and then start taping up the rubber that's used on the wagon wheel. Haven't heard back from the owner yet to figure out what he wants to do as far as if he wants me to go ahead sand this down to bare metal, or if he wants me to just prep it pretty good and POR 15 it or something. But yeah. Alright, so I went ahead, got both of these bigger wheels prepped up. I got the drums off of both of the backs. I'll go ahead and clean those and prep those eventually. Now it's time to go ahead and start over on the one that's got the steering mechanism on it. Once again, I'm going to go ahead and get these off. I already took some of these caps off. Just got two little Allen holes and pretty easy. Cotter pin goes off, get a punch, smack that off, wrench it off. This wheel pulls right off. Alright, so now that that's all off, this should pull right off. And there we go. Time to do the other one real quick. Alright, so we got both wheels off of the front frame. Went ahead, taped up the rest of the wheel rubber in the blue because I ran out of yellow tape. Went ahead, cleaned off the rubber on this one. And then what I'll go ahead and do is lay a piece of tape right here in this crease and cover it back. Then flip the wheel over and do the same thing so that all the rubber's covered and I don't sand it or I don't get any type of paint on it. Alright, so we got the last wheel all taped up. I'm going to go ahead, body work these last two wheels so we can get to what y'all want to see, which is the spraying of the paint on both these frames.
What we do here is go back.
got this frame all primed up. 2 coats of some POR primer.
Power off.
And yeah, got some more work to do. I had a little bit left, so I sprayed a bit of the wheel just to see how it would lay. So now it's time to go ahead, finish body working these 2 wheels over here, and then I'll be spraying all 4 wheels and this second part of the frame. Alright YouTube, so real quick, on the second frame, said we got both of those primed, got the frame over there primed. I got those wheels over there putty drying, we'll get those taken care of, but this rear frame right here, a little bit more to it than the other one if I get my zoom to work right. So on this I actually had to take off a top plate, and this is what allows, it's kind of like the rack and pinion for the carriage itself. The bolt goes there in the middle, and then it slides, goes left and right, and it's driven by this piece. So I had to separate these, and then this hook was really rusty, so I went ahead and I sandblasted all the rust out. Same with the rust that was on these holes. Could do a bit better of a job. Gotta go back to the blaster anyway, so I'll blast that all out, but I'll go ahead, I'll get this all prepped up. I'm not gonna touch this area where rust is, and this area, I will clean it up, but this is where it slides. So what I'll do is I'll end up cleaning that up to probably just bare metal, putting grease on it before I put them back together. Okay, so I ran out of my 3M PPS cups, so in the meantime, I will be using this rust treatment. It converts light rust to a paintable surface, and I will be using that on various areas of the steering mechanism, the whole steering plate, I guess you could say, pieces of the front frame. Then once I get the rust treatment on all that, I'll go ahead, hopefully my cups come in, and the rest of this can go ahead and get primed to match everything else. Alright, so I went ahead, put on the first coat of the Permatex rust treatment, and as you can see, stuff works. It's the first coat, it's already doing its job, so I'll go ahead, probably just do one more coat after that on that and spots of the frame, and then we'll keep moving. Once again, if you're curious on the product I'm using, it is Permatex rust treatments. Alright, so it's been a little bit of time now, and the owner finally decided to go with Indian White. It's supposed to be a 1K acrylic enamel paint, but I put in a little bit of optional hardener just so that it glosses a bit better, and on top of that it will add a little bit of durability as well. Keep in mind, you typically do not want to mix different brands together. I suggest to really only do it if you've tried it before and you've had success. past that, if you get like a a certain line like shop line or something like that, you typically want to include the hardeners or reducers of that same line. Now, I didn't get a chance to show you guys me spraying the frame, but she's getting along for sure. So far I've got one wheel done along with one of the frames. I still have all this sitting in primer that I have to sand down and then spray as well. And the last thing will probably be those little drums right there. So on top of that, I'm gonna get an action camera. Well, I have an action camera, just haven't set it up all the way. Well, you know, only had it for 4 months, but once I get that set up, I'll be able to spray with 2 hands. So I will cut you guys back on when I get to that point.